Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Aisha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Good morning. We are thrilled to bring you the latest edition of Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the Post of Phoenix and beyond. Like always, we are all the way live from Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Damon Dipleen Ellison.
Aisha.
And don't you and Jimmy.
We will be your guide through the exciting stories and everyday happenings in our vibrant community, your weekly dose of inspiration, innovation, and insightful conversations from the heart of the city. Let's get it going. Yeah, man. We do not have a guest this week, man, so we're just going to go over the weekly news this week. Make sure that we talk about everything that's going on. If you do want to be a guest, make sure to email us at info@habarientertainment.com and we will get you onto the show. But all right, man, let's go ahead.
Before we get started, we want to go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor, Mama Soul's Fish and Chicken. If you need some soul food, go on down there and get you a plate. They got some catfish, collard greens, peach cobbler, everything you gonna love.
Yeah, man, we appreciate our sponsors. They are a really big deal. And
This how we starting the show?
oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, man. So we want to talk about real fast before we start everything. Juneteenth and everything that transpired that day. We want to thank the whole crew, everybody from Habari Entertainment that came out to the Juneteenth celebration from Rep Your Brand with the Latoya, what she put together. Was very great event. She did a terrific job putting that together, and I want to thank everybody, all of our guys who came out and got pictures and interviews and talked to everyone, and we did a good job as a team making it happen, man. I thought that was pretty dope. And there was lots of Juneteenth celebrations throughout the city, and most of them came through with great reviews, and everybody loved what was going on. Some people were complaining that there were too many. I remember when people used to complain that there wasn't enough. So, I'm just happy that people are coming together, which is to me is what it's all about, man. It's not going to always be perfect. It's not going to always turn out exactly the way you want it to, but as long as people are trying and taking every and moving steps forward to have a better representation in the city. And that's what it's all about, man. So let's go ahead and run Habari News Weekly, and we can get into the news.
Week's Habari News Weekly with Damon Dipleen Ellison. Sponsored by...
All right, so you already heard our sponsors this morning, Mama Soul's Fish and Chicken. We really appreciate them for giving us the chance to get them out here and represent and make sure people know more about this company and this restaurant and what they're doing. We're just making sure that everybody know what they're doing, and we want to get everybody to go out there and support them. They're Black owned, and trying to get it done here in Phoenix. They bring in St. Louis style food, so that's a pretty cool thing, man. And if you're from the St. Louis area, that's definitely another reason why you can go out, check them out, man, and then give them a try. Mama Soul's Fish and Chicken. Anyway, what's the top story?
Way to say, are you ready yet?
I figured you was ready because I saw you putting everything away.
Top story this week. We got a couple top stories happening this week. Let's go ahead and get it out the way. Voters will decide in November if tipped workers
Is it straight?
can be paid 25% less than Arizona's minimum wage. A group trying to raise Arizona's minimum wage has filed suit over a competing ballot measure passed by the legislature that would change the hourly wage for tipped workers. House Concurrent Resolution 1040 would amend the Arizona Constitution and alter the minimum wage for tipped workers by changing the state's tip credit from a flat $3 to up to 25% of the hourly wage.
Wow. I mean, I guess that would be fairer for the people who are getting tips. I'm guessing. I really don't know how much exactly they're making right now.
Under the current minimum wage, employers can pay tipped workers $11.35 an hour, or $3 less than the hourly minimum wage.
Okay.
This is plus their tips.
Right.
Just keep in mind. The tip credit, the amount the workers can keep, would be $3.59 under HCR 1040.
Okay.
Meaning that tipped workers would be paid $10.76 an hour plus tips.
Okay.
So it's going to take their wage down from the minimum wage is $15, right?
Right.
So now it's going to take them down to $10.76 according to this ballot measure that they're trying to get passed.
Taking money away from them?
Exactly. But the Raise the Wage AZ is gathering signatures for a ballot measure to raise that minimum wage to $18 and to get rid of that tip credit. So instead of paying it that $3, all the stuff that employers get to keep and things like that, they want to make it to where all restaurant workers or tipped workers are just receiving a flat minimum wage salary instead of
more tips.
No more tips.
I mean, dude, the tipping has a crazy history. It does not have good history. The connotations that's connected with tipping is in the United States has a legacy of slavery and racism, and it became popular after the Civil War. The practice allowed employers to pay formerly enslaved people low or no wages, expecting them to work for tips instead. This was intended to keep African Americans in a economic and social positions that are lower than standards.
So basically, it's saying that the customer is the one that's paying your salary.
Yeah, and it's choosing
and
how
not
much
the
you're going to be
company
paid,
that you work
which
for.
is crazy. The practice was controversial from the start, and reformers quickly challenged it. In 1916, with William Rufus Scott wrote The Itching Palm, an anti-tipping book that criticized the practice and its negative effects on society. Anti-tipping laws were passed and associations were formed. After the Civil War, many restaurants and rail operators embraced tipping because it allows them to hire newly freed slaves without having to pay them per hour. They would be forced to work for tips alone. And early 20th century Southern journalists recounted being uncomfortable with tipping white working people. So it's always had horrible connotations connected to tipping. And it's just a way to me, man. I mean, some people make good money, and I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say that I haven't heard from people who love the tipping system. They love the system, but all of them that I've known have been poor. They don't know they're poor, but they're poor, and they can't make decisions based on their tipping, the way they get their tips and how their money comes. Because every night they have money in their pocket, but they don't have a big amount of money to be able to make big decisions. Now, some people might.
Some days are slower than others. So some days the worker's going to make a lot more tips than they would other days. Like, for example, Saturdays and Sundays are probably going to be the bigger, better days for tipped workers to make money because families are off work. They're going out to eat, things like that. They're spending time with their families, right?
Right.
So maybe a Monday or Tuesday night might not be as busy as a Saturday or Sunday.
Right. But like I said, man, tipping is keeping a lot of people poor. The people like it because they get the money every day, and they feel as though that they're never broke.
Mm-hmm.
But you're never going to be able to get to a position of buying large quantities of a house, a car. You're not going to be able to do those things because you're just getting these little couple $100 a night,
Right.
and you think that's big deal, but you end
You're
up
not even
spending that money.
Exactly. You're not even able to purchase health insurance.
Right. And that money is not accumulating for you can be able to say, all right, I have $1,600 in the check. Now I can make big decisions. You're getting 200. And I just, some people disagree, but I just thought that I've always thought the tipping system and the way that work is just, there's no way that you can come up in life like that.
Right.
Unless, like I said, you're really good at saving your money, you know what I mean? And you could put your money away that you do get, and you're able to live off other things.
Now I can see for people like barbers and cosmetologists, hairstylists, those types of workers receiving tips
but they're receiving tips.
They
usually,
their services are usually based on flat rates.
Right, exactly.
So you can go in and get a haircut.
And then you tip if you love your hair. Right.
Exactly. But
in these restaurants, you're getting paid less per hour. And they're just saying that you're going to get these tips in this time frame.
Right.
But what if you don't get those tips in those time frames? Then you just got paid less per hour to work just as hard as anybody else who's out there working.
Exactly.
Now, I know it's a lot of people out there that are so pro business that they don't care how much these businesses make because they created the business, and they don't think that there's anything that the workers can say about how much money they make and how much
from an employer.
Right. The employers just, you see how all the comments on the Elon Musk conversation, how all the people are just 100% pro business. They can do whatever they want to because they built the company and they did this. Mm-hmm. Man, dude, these companies cannot make anything without their workers.
Nothing.
And to act like a CEO can go out there and build a car or do anything without their engineers, and then their engineers are not getting paid sufficient amount to be able to pay rent, and you're okay with that? You're okay with these people going out, not being able to pay their rent, making tips for these companies can make billions of dollars in profits every quarter? Like it's ridiculous,
but
man.
Then they have a problem with the homeless population.
They don't care about the homeless population. You seen them today. They was talking about in Los Angeles. They're putting together a skyscraper to try to help the people out. All the comments. I don't want my tax dollars to go to that. But you're mad when they're on the streets, though.
Right.
Like, dude,
you're mad when they're on the streets, and you're mad that the city is trying to spend money to get them off the streets.
We have to do one of the other. We can't just leave these people. We have to do something. I get sick of the way Americans think, man. We just want to throw people away. Where are they going to go? We can't just murder them. They don't want to work. They're having a hard time. They could be drugs. It could be whatever the situation is. It doesn't matter. We have to help them. We can't just have them walking around the street talking to themselves. It's not right, man. And some people could have just fell into a bad situation where they lost something, where they got hurt. They couldn't work. Now they're homeless. And all the people, oh, forget them. I don't want my tax dollars going to that. Like, that's what tax dollars are for. This is the reason why they exist, to be able to help those that are in bad situations.
Right.
Like, we're okay with all this Elon Musk getting $58 billion. That's fine. But we give some help to a homeless person, we're upset. I don't want my tax dollars going to that. It's ridiculous, man. And to me, this tipping is another way that they try to figure out how to bend over the little man.
Yep.
We can't always be about the people in charge. Somebody has to look out for the little person.
And then some states, their minimum wage is still the federal
$7, $8, $9
minimum wage.
When if
you pay it, if you in one of those states, and it's okay for a law like this to go through, and you're being paid 25% less than the minimum wage, you making $7, $8 already. 25% of that is already that's gonna take you down so much.
It's just trash, dude. It's trash, man. I mean, the little person just gets, and there's so many people that's okay with it.
You okay with people making $3
and they're little,
an hour?
They're the little people. That's the crazy part. It's just because they just want to feel like they're better than somebody. That's all it is. oh, I'm making the money. It's okay. They think they're going to be a CEO of a company and make what Elon is making. That's what they think. If Elon is getting more, that means that the people at the bottom is getting less. That money is coming out of somebody's pocket.
Right.
Somebody's getting hurt. It's just not this big thing of money that's just everybody can reach into. Nah, that means little person is getting less. I'm about the little people. Yeah, man, it's dope
They are
that
the ones that make the company.
they make the
The
company
ones
tick.
that run the company.
Exactly. The person comes up with the idea, and that's why they are rich, and we understand that. But there is a point where they are getting too much money, and the 1% is taking too much of the money from the pot, and the bottom is 90.
Struggling.
The bottom 90% has less money than them, and you're okay with that. That is weirdly crazy, especially coming from broke people. I never understand broke Republicans. But it's their hate. They hate people. They hate as long as they feel as though, oh, I'm above those McDonald's workers. I make more than them. They feel like they're somebody, which is all trash. Exactly. What's your next story?
Supreme Court upholds ban on domestic abusers owning guns.
Finally, they did something right.
The decision on Friday stems from the case of the United States versus Rahimi, which centers around a federal law that prohibits someone under a domestic violence restraining order from possessing a gun. The man at the center of the case, Zaki Rahimi, was involved in 5 shootings over 2 months, while also the subject of a domestic violence restraining order.
Mm-hmm.
The ruling in United States versus Rahimi was an 8-1 decision. The Supreme Court ruled that when an individual has been found by a court to pose a credible threat to the physical safety of another, that individual may be temporarily disarmed, consistent with the Second Amendment. The decision was backed by the court's 3 Democrat-appointed justices and the 5 of 6 justices appointed by Republicans. The only conservative justice to dissent it or to vote against it was Clarence Thomas.
Oh my God. I can't stand that dude, man. I cannot stand Clarence Thomas, man. He's been on the court for 30 years making dumb decisions. I can't stand that dude. Man, I'm just happy that they did do something like this, man. I mean, it's messed up that women fearing for their life, running from a domestic abuser, and they take away the protections to try to keep the person from getting guns.
Right.
And dude, this is one of the number one crimes that happen, unfortunately, with gun use, is killing a spouse, and it's usually women. The person that's hurt in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, man, that they have
and
to go
allow the abuser to continue to hold a weapon or have a firearm in their possession, knowing that at any moment this person can snap.
Dude, these people are fighting for the rights for domestic abusers
to keep guns.
They're fighting for the rights for people who have red flags, people that have threatened people that have mental issues. They're fighting for them to have guns.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the first thing they say once a mass shooting happens?
Oh, it was a lone wolf. He had mental health issues.
Exactly. And we try to do something to keep guns away from domestic abusers, mental health patients, people with issues, people who have made threats, and they fight to keep these people with guns. They fight to keep the guns on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
They fight. That's all they do. They want guns everywhere. I mean, I'm surprised they passed this, man. I'm not gonna lie. I thought for sure that all of them Republicans was gonna vote the same way. Because everything they've done when it's coming to the guns, they voted on with the NRA.
Yep.
And the NRA don't care about no one.
But filling their pockets with more
Right.
money because of
And
the
that's
gun
it.
sales
That's
that
all they
happened
care about.
after each mass shooting.
Their lobbyists, their people, everything. So it's ridiculous, dude. And I get sick and tired of it. It's ridiculous. We you can't play that in here, baby. It's too loud.
Why?
You gotta take it in there. We'll be in there in a second. Yeah, so you
I won't take my water.
okay.
Open it.
Have Jimmy open it. Here. Don't waste it. No. Oh my goodness. Really?
Thank you.
You're welcome. There you go.
Drop it.
You have a good day. All right, what's the
This
next
one
story?
here. While we are taught on the subject of guns and gun violence in America, we cannot forget that yesterday, a panicked Arkansas grocery store shoppers hid in a freezer and ran for cover amid a shooting that killed 3 people, wounding 10 others. A man had opened fire at the Mad Butcher in Fortis, killing 3 people and wounding 10 others, as I stated. Law enforcement responded around 11:30 a.m. And exchanged gunfire with the lone suspect, according to Arkansas State Police. 2 law enforcement officers were among those injured, but their conditions were not life-threatening. The 8 civilians who were wounded have injuries ranging from non-life-threatening to extremely critical. The Arkansas Department of Public Safety Director Mike Hager said at the briefing on Friday. I mean, the lone suspect.
Yeah, they man, I'm so sick of this shit, man.
He was among those that was wounded.
And the first thing the person said that was on scene, that was a witness, is he had an AK-47 style gun.
Yep.
The gun that they are, oh, it's no big deal. They just let the bump stocks go legal. They just keep saying it's no big deal. None of this stuff is a big deal to them. People getting slaughtered. Can't go to the grocery store. How many mass shootings in grocery stores have we had now? Like, dog, we can't do nothing nowadays in this environment.
Kids can't go to school. You can't go grocery shopping.
The
You
movies,
can't go to a movie theater. You can't
club,
go to a club or bar.
You can't go to a show.
You can't go to a concert.
They done shot up everything. And then sitting there talking about, oh, Chicago. What about Chicago? Dog, yeah, they're bad too. Yeah, there's guns in every city. Every city in America has a gun problem. Every one of them.
Right. Every major city.
Dog, I'm so sick of it, bro. I just and no one wants to do anything. Everybody just want to go to their corners. Second Amendment. It's like I was reading this thing today, man, and they was talking about
guy with a gun would have had a gun.
Right. Get a teacher's guns. They're dumb. Anyway, it's already so many laws in place to keep certain weapons out of our hands. We can't have certain things already. We can't have military. So why they act like we can't put any more laws in when there's already been so many laws that's been put in over the years and years? Now all of a sudden we can't do anything. When the Black Panthers came through in California and they was carrying guns inside the government.
You know how many laws they created?
Fast. Ronald Reagan then ran to put laws in place to keep them from being able to bring guns on government property.
Right.
Or whatever the situation is. There have been laws put in all to the time into the 2000s when we've decided that the NRA owns America and we can't make any decisions without them. And we can't do anything about guns, no matter how many people die. We just gonna sit back and just keep making excuses and keep saying, "Oh, it's okay. Oh, they should have had a. It should have. Nah, he shouldn't have had it.
Yep.
He never should have had the gun. And if he wouldn't have had it, then maybe some people would have been alive who was just trying to buy some groceries."
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous, man. I get so sick of it, man. And everybody's okay with this crap. It hasn't happened to them, so they don't care. I mean, we don't care about each other. It goes, man, like I said, that goes back to the homeless. We don't want to help them. People getting gunned down, kids getting gunned down. We don't care. Just keep scrolling online, looking at your TikTok videos or whatever else. You don't care. I just get tired, man. Someday, man, we're gonna have to care about each other's well-being. We're just not gonna be able to just keep doing this, man. We're gonna have to figure this out. But whatever, dude. It's ridiculous.
It is. Jimmy, you want to go ahead and run the hot mess?
Goddamn shame. Can't go nowhere.
Get ready for the week's Hollywood Hot Mess with Aisha Rowan. Sponsored by
Mama Soul's Fish and Chicken. If you need a plate of soul food, i.e. some fried catfish, some collard greens, some mac and cheese, a little bit of cornbread, go down there to 19th Avenue and Greenway and get you a plate. Or you could check out the new location in Mesa.
Mm-hmm.
Go down there and get you a plate of food. Tell them Habari Entertainment sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no discount, but just let them know we sent you though.
Yeah, that's we're gonna work it out. We're gonna try to talk to them and see if we can figure out maybe a little discount or something that the people can get if they say Habari Entertainment sent them. We'll try to work that out with them. But still, tell them Habari sent you, so we can start let them know that we're helping to get the word out, to get people people in the building.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there was a couple things that I saw as a hot mess this week, but I chose one specific topic for the hot mess this week. The others are just going to fall under our hip hop news this week. TMZ obtained the police report tied to Justin Timberlake's arrest.
There's a junkie. Well, actually.
And the cops spelled out exactly what they say they saw while Justin was on the road. Sag Harbor police say they first spotted Justin after he blew past a stop sign, a little more than a half a mile away from the American Hotel, which is where he was at with his friends having dinner, the little get together he said he had, right? And then, cops said they started following him, at which point they claim he failed to stay in a straight line on the road. So the cops tailed him for about another half mile before they finally turned on squad lights. Justin was eventually pulled over at an intersection, which was in a residential area. And at that point, the cops say they suspected that he was under the influence. The signs said that the signs that cops cite for their determination were bloodshot, glassy eyes, a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage emanating from his breath, and he was unable to divide attention. He had slowed speech, and he was unsteady of foot, citing that Justin performed poorly on all field sobriety tests. Mind you, one of the field sobriety tests that they provide is the breathalyzer.
Right.
He refused to take the breathalyzer, so we just want to put that out there.
So
that's why they say,
I'm drunk.
Right.
He's gonna give y'all more proof of me being drunk. You already got enough. But man, to me, this type stuff just reminds you that they're normal people, man. They make mistakes,
are normal people,
just like us.
However, this incident is said to have brought Britney Spears back in the limelight because her song "Got Me Crying" or something, which I think it was "Got Me Crying," is tied to one of the memes that's out there about Justin being arrested because of them. I didn't see it either, but it's a rumor that it's out there.
I guess, man. I mean, like I said, man, Justin, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why you didn't call someone to pick you up, limo, something. You have money. You're not broke, so you could have
Why
called
didn't you
someone.
have driving service there and to back to where
I
you were
mean,
going?
for real. I mean, especially when you got money.
Right.
You have.
You
There's
should
no
not be
excuse
driving.
when you're a millionaire, multimillionaire.
Exactly.
Now, if you broke, you ain't got a job. I understand you.
Now, if you're somebody like Alyssa Milano who has to fundraise for her kids' games,
whatever,
then
she's not broke either.
But still, she drives herself around.
Yeah, they probably
She's a lower level celebrity versus
that was 40, 30 years ago when she was big time. So
Right.
it's been a long time. So I know those checks had to slow it up a little bit. People think that stuff lasts forever, but
they don't.
If
you don't
nobody's
invest correctly,
watching who's the boss, who cares? She ain't making no money off that shit.
Right.
But Justin is still doing pretty well. So I don't know,
definitely
man.
Should have had a driver.
Yeah, man. There hasn't been any statements from him yet or his people. So we'll see. We'll keep you guys updated on what happens on that. But it's nothing. I mean, he shouldn't have been driving. It's not really much you can really say about that situation. So hopefully, man, he gets the help he needs. Hopefully it was just a night out on the town going crazy, or this may be something.
I think it was something more or less. He was out with his friends at a get together,
having
dinner,
a good time,
and had one too many drinks while at dinner,
Right.
and then just tried to drive back to wherever he was going.
And I don't know how much Brittany can really say about this man. Him having
they didn't say she said it. It was more or less one of her songs that came back into the limelight.
I'm like, man,
that is attached with the meme because
she's had some episodes,
right?
Some crazy episodes online, just everywhere. So I mean, he's human too. So everybody has a chance or times where they make mistakes. So
that is true.
Hopefully he can get it together, man. I'm not saying I'm rooting for him, but I don't know him like that. But I would just, what I'm saying? I'm just saying that hopefully he gets it together, man, because that sucks. What's the next one?
All right. I know we don't have an intro for it, but it's hip hop news for the week.
Just do it. Just going into it.
Right.
It's still a mess.
It is still a mess because rapper Travis Scott was also arrested Thursday on a disorderly intoxication charge after authorities say that he was yelling at people on a yacht in Miami Beach.
Yep.
Scott was arrested after police were called to the Miami Beach Marina early Thursday on a report of a disturbance on a yacht. According to Miami Beach police arrest affidavit, a person had called dispatch saying people were fighting on the vessel. Officers had found Scott standing on the dock yelling at the vessel occupants, authorities said. At first, he complied with the police command to sit down, but he decided to, just go ahead and disregard them and continued on doing what he was doing. The complaint also told the complainant told police that he didn't want to press charges and just wanted Scott off the yacht.
So it wasn't his yacht?
No.
He was on somebody else's yacht acting a fool.
Drunk.
Wow.
Acting a fool.
Man, it's crazy, man. I don't know, man. He's not having a good last couple good years. He's been in and out of some stuff, man. So I would think that he'd be chilling out, trying to relax. But yeah, man, you can't be out there yelling and acting a fool on someone else's. Maybe it was, but he said he wanted him to lead a yacht. So I don't know, man. People are tripping. It was a crazy week, man.
It really was a crazy week.
Maybe he was just messed up, acting a fool. I don't know, man.
I mean,
people crazy, dude.
Given that this week was Juneteenth, Kendrick Lamar decided that he was going to film. He's going to be filming a new music video this weekend, right? Which is right off the heels of his Juneteenth show that he did on Wednesday. Everybody was on the stage.
I think you have the LA Avengers out there.
Right.
Exactly.
Crips,
But you know
Bloods.
what?
Clippers, Lakers.
50 Cent got left out of this one again too.
50 Cent and the game wasn't there either, right?
In the game, yep.
Well, 50 Cent's been in Cali a long time, man. He's lived out there and been a part of their little crew for a while. But he doesn't rep it like that though.
No,
Well,
he
he
doesn't.
didn't bring Snoop Dogg out there though. So.
No, that's true.
But Snoop, he was like, he just called him
he the king of the West Coast.
Yep, Snoop just gave him King of the West Coast title. So,
yeah, he definitely is. There's no question on that.
But the fact that the game cried about him not being invited to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got something to say. They like, where was the game at? He ain't crying that he wasn't at this one too. So I mean,
who knows? Who cares?
Who knows? But the actual concert that Kendrick did for Juneteenth was a good concert.
Yeah, and when it was streamed live on Amazon, so everybody.
1 hour long.
Goodness.
And the fact that
all together, everybody.
They played Drake's diss like 5 times.
5 times in a row.
No, they played all his diss, but they played not like us.
5 times.
5 times in a row.
Yeah, he opened up with Euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had Dr. Dre open Not Like Us. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. He definitely he murdered that man.
Then he was doing Drake's dance on stage. I don't know if you noticed that.
Nah, I didn't.
But he was doing the highlight bling dance on stage.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And his outfit that he had on was like took inspiration off of what Tupac had on.
Yeah, that all red fit.
Yeah, he only had a red hoodie.
Yeah, he didn't have a red baseball hat on like Pac had on.
Yes, he did.
But we couldn't see it because of the hood.
But yeah, he took it off. But
yeah,
towards the end,
Pac he didn't have a hoodie on. He just had a sweatshirt and a hat that turned backwards.
Right.
But it was it was a good time for the West Coast, man. You had people on there crip walking and blood walking and everything else, and doing their thing, man. So
they said Westbrook ain't that happy to play basketball.
They had a crip hoedown, as a lot of other people were saying. So man, it was cool that they were able to get together.
The community was able to come together like that
and not fight, and able to bring. I think his thing was to bring up as many different gangs from as many different sections as he could. So that was pretty cool, man.
Just get the city, the people,
and
involved.
It's dope. I think that I wish that all this gang violence would be a thing of the past, and more Black communities came together as one instead of us being so splintered all the damn time. It would be dope, man. But to come together on the diss of this dude. And then everybody, I saw a video today which people were talking about. LeBron was in the crowd clapping and being all happy after being one of Drake's biggest fans and going everywhere with Drake, doing everything with Drake, going to Drake concerts, doing all type stuff that LeBron did. And DeMar also, he was a big Drake supporter, wearing his outfits, wearing OVO fits, and they did skits on Saturday Night Live together. Now he on stage dancing on the songs, dissing that man.
Right.
So hey,
they said LeBron tried to go on stage and Savannah was like, "You are not a gang member, you are a family man, sir."
He didn't try to go on stage. That Buster wasn't trying to go nowhere.
That would have been not bad, but if you have LeBron James on stage, there's a huge difference.
He can't. Then he wouldn't do nothing but be like a fraud, because that's like I just said. LeBron was his number one cheerleader.
They said he has a theme song. He even had a theme song by Drake.
Exactly. LeBron loves some Drake.
Right.
So to be on stage up there
dancing
would have been wild. But whatever, man. Is that all the stories we got?
No, we're gonna go ahead and hit Comic Book Corner.
No, that was it for that one.
Yeah.
For sure. Let's go.
Comic Book Corner. Sponsored by
Fish and Chicken. Check them out on 19th Avenue and Greenway, and also the new location in Mesa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the cross streets in Mesa?
Let's go ahead and go get those cross
It's
streets
right off
for
the
you.
main.
It's off Main and what? Dobson. That's the hood.
So,
I used to live over there, man. Dreadful.
yeah, it's next to apartments.
But Main and let's see, we'll get the cross street.
It's 4906 East Main Street
Okay.
in Mesa.
For sure. But yeah, man, go check them out over there, man. It's always a good place to go check out and get your grub on. But
Most
anyway,
definitely.
man,
This week, season 4, episode 4 of The Boys.
mm-hmm. But yeah, before we get, we want to say welcome to Comic Book Corner here on Habari Live. Today we're diving into the wild and twisted world of The Boys again, focusing on the highly anticipated 4th season of Prime's Video's hit show. If you've been following the series, you know it's been a roller coaster of dark humor and intense action and satirical takes on superhero culture. But this season, there's an unexpected star still in the spotlight. We don't talk about that, but main thing is that what was this season? I mean, episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 4. I don't know, man. I'm not. I'm just not digging it, man. I just thought that.
I mean, with the way they ended episode 3, I figured that they were going to go more into Homelander's origin.
Right. Instead of him going downstairs and just.
That's all he did. He literally just went from the top of the building all the way to the basement.
And just messing and just torturing those poor people.
Man.
And the thing I thought was dumb is this also. Why would those people be so close? Like that should have been a secret hideaway or a secret base where he didn't know these people or where these people existed.
Right.
He should have had to go find those people and try to figure out who they were and where they were at.
Exactly.
Instead of just walking downstairs. Like, dog, I wouldn't have kept that job.
The fact that he could remember every little detail that had happened
he wasn't
to him.
He wasn't that old. It looked like in the pictures when they were showing him, he was 13, 14 when these things were still happening. So these people who were doing it to him, they fresh in his mind. And if those people were doing that stuff and you still working there, chilling in the basement, like, dog, I'd have been out. I'm out of here. What are you keeping this job? And especially when he came of power and he be cat. I'm like, man, this dude gonna kill us any day. And they just down there chilling like it's all good. Like I just thought that was pretty dumb. And then
because it was.
We see what's going on with the Australian dude or whatever his name is. Butcher. You know, something's going on with him with the little snake or whatever he has in his head.
The parasite
thing. So
well, he's supposed to have a brain tumor. It's supposed to be cancer that he's dealing with.
But we see it. They keep showing it swiggling around in his head. So
they do. And from what I've seen,
and it was in his back. So I don't know if he have several of them or what's going on.
I think it's just one. It just roams around freely wherever in his veins, right?
But he also took Compound V.
Exactly. He said he admitted that he took Compound V after his brain tumor cancer diagnosis, and it did nothing to help him.
Nah, he think it did nothing.
That's what he's thinking. It did nothing, but it obviously gave him some sort of power.
Something.
And that's what they're gonna go into.
Super snake in his head that comes out.
Hopefully, that's what we get into this next episode.
I don't know, man. It's just, and then to see, Starlight, she got mad because of
they released her medical records,
right? Which is ridiculous
because nobody in the history of anything would release medical records,
man, especially on TV like that. Unless that person gave you the okay, you can't do that. But they would be hit with some violations for that.
Oh yeah.
But she messed her up. I understand that. Because that was personal. And then a lot of people online has been upset because they don't like the direction that it's going in, talking about the people on the right and Trump voters right now. But dog, that's the show's been about that from the beginning. That's what it's been about. Talking about you crazy right-wing people who willing to blow everybody up for the name of America and the Constitution. They've been making fun of y'all since day one. Homelander has been the villain since day one, just like
Day
Trump
one.
is the villain. Just like all you people who don't care about nobody but the Second Amendment and your free speech to be able to say the N-word on Twitter.
Yep.
That's why they love Elon so much, because he let them say the N-word on Twitter. They love him. You know, this is the type of stuff they about, man. They're not about the world, about caring about anybody else. And then, you know, the people that really disgust me, it's the people online who try to make it seem like the Republicans and the Democrats are just the same people on the same team. Yeah, dog, that may be the dumbest statement that I've ever. We had a civil war, and we on the verge of another one, and you talking about they're on the same team, thinking you sound smart. No, they're not the same team. They're not. We've had battles. We've had fights, wars. People are getting shot. People have shot up Democrats, Republicans, and you talking about it's the same team. No, it's not. You just using a good excuse not to be able to pick, oh, Biden just is racist. Biden has a black vice president.
Right.
Who are about moving the black community. Trump and them do not care. They heard about the 1619 project. What they do, they did everything in their power to remove everything from black history. Now they trying their best to remove it. Trump trying to, I didn't like this 1619 project making white people look bad. I want to ban it.
Trump wants to monitor when women become pregnant.
They trying to ban abortion all the way.
So that way they can know when you have an abortion. And you can be prosecuted and sent to jail.
But then they're going to tell you they're the same. Ain't no difference in between them. Like, dude,
Trump wants to get rid of birth control.
He wants Russia to take over Ukraine. He's not going to care about the Palestinians. Do you think that's going to get better when he gets in? He's full 100% Israel.
Right.
And he thinks Israel can just do whatever they want to whoever. He doesn't. I know Biden them is pro-Israel also. But this dude is overwhelmingly pro-Israel. He won't even hold them to task and say, hey, can y'all at least try to take care of the people that's going on? Y'all killing civilians.
Right.
Like, what's going on? Biden would at least say, hey, man, stop doing this. Trump is not going to say nothing. He's going to give them everything they need to wipe those people out.
Yep.
Because he doesn't care. And then he's going to let them wipe out Ukraine. Like, it's going to, man, dude. People, man.
And that's kind of where I see right now, that's where the boys is sitting at.
Right.
Because you got Homelander who's just like, you know what, let's go ahead and just start a war. Let's go ahead and start this, like that war between, the supers and the non-supers.
It's a mirror of what's going on today.
It is.
Because, you got that's why we went into all that, because it's just a mirror of what's going on. Mm-hmm. The hate that's going on in this country. Pushing people between each other left and right. And it just it didn't used to be this blatant and crazy. But now with the Trumpers and all this crazy stuff they on, man, it's insane. And it's a good time to talk about it and put it into shows, because it's going on and it's happening. And we see them falling down rabbit holes, believing conspiracy theories, like that girl who just pushes crazy conspiracies.
Right.
And we see them just falling for everything. They was 100% sure about that. What was that crazy story they used to talk about? I can't think of the name of it, but QAnon,
yeah.
Yeah, they was all into that, all of them. Then when none of it come true, they just go on with their life, act like nothing happened.
Right.
Like, dog, y'all, this Q and this just Q. Like, y'all are idiots. You fall for anything every time. Then you trying to call everybody else crazy. Right. But the boys is doing a good job of showing how crazy the right wing is. And they're not liking it online.
No, they're not.
They're not liking it. But, hey, this is what y'all are doing. So you can be mad all you want to, but this is what y'all doing.
I don't know if you want to call it a spoiler or not, but we're not going to get the fight between Butcher and Homelander in season 4. That will come season 5, in the 5th and final season.
I can't say they is dragging this shit on, man.
They are dragging it up, because this whole story could have been told 4 seasons and been done. They could have been done with it this season.
They've been fighting the same dude for 4 or 5 seasons.
For 4 seasons now. And to me, I think they only should have spent 2 seasons on it.
Man, I mean, I understand.
And went on to the next issue.
Because Homelander is a big deal. They really like him. Is there any comments that's on there that needs to be said? Or are you just ignoring them?
I'm not ignoring them.
Okay.
Well, you're not really saying them.
But you bring them up on the thing. You show them.
Yeah.
You could tell us though if it's some things that people said, man, so we could know.
Elijah says hi. He says you're the second best podcast. Because Wealth for Generations is the best.
Oh God. Okay.
And round of applause for his power couple is Elijah again.
Both of them are Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Well, you could have just said that. Thanks, Elijah, for watching. We appreciate you. He half paying attention, man.
I am paying attention.
So man, check out The Boys. It's on Amazon.
It is not a show for kids.
It is not. But like I said, man, I just think that this season does have the lowest ratings than any of the other seasons.
And I can definitely see why, because it honestly has not held my attention.
Nah, it's not been good, man. It hasn't
the way
been.
The first 2 seasons did.
It's just a lot of people get mad about the homosexuality. A lot of people but it's been that way since the beginning. There was some issue, the multiple dude eating each other's cakes, that was crazy. It's been a lot of crazy stuff, but the story with Frenchie, messing with the dude and everything, he murdered the dude's parents.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was a stupid storyline. I just think it's dumb. You know what I mean? Wow, it's just dumb. It's dumb. I don't like it. I just don't like the storyline. I think it's dumb, and I don't know what it has to do with the overall reaching story, but I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't. It's not that I don't like the homosexuality. I just don't like that he would even put himself in this situation. It's so stupid.
Like, you killed this man's family.
Why would you have anything to do with this? You're a hitman. Why would you have anything to do with this? Oh, he's a caring hit. Get up out of here. Get out of here. That's dumb. I just don't like it. But anyway.
Let's go ahead and roll into sports.
Let's get sports going, man.
Habari Sports.
Congratulations to the Boston Celtics. I think they won their 18th championship.
Yes, they did.
They pulled it out, man, beating the Mavericks in 5 games. I just want to say that before the championship even started, I said this was very, very lackluster, man. I just didn't like
this season.
It's just been whack.
It was
It's rather
season, boring.
It was just a whack season. The West was not as good as we thought they were. They were obviously a bad teams over there, and those really bad teams gave the West teams a better record than they really should have had. Those teams weren't as good, man, as they looked to be. A lot of people have Minnesota as being the next team up and coming. I just don't know about them, man. They have to get better, man. Rudy Gobert, he has to be able to make a basket in the post. Anthony Edwards, he's going to have to figure out how to get to his mid-range game and not always try to push it to the rim. He's going to have to figure out how to do just 1 or 2 dribbles and then shoot. Use his athleticism to be able to jump over people. He was missing a lot of those. I felt as though he dribbled a lot to try to get in positions. I felt like Cat he doesn't make enough layups. He shoots way too many threes. So I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about them. It's just everybody just shoots a whole bunch of threes nowadays, and that's the why we see these games where it's 30 points, 40-point leads, and all this stuff. Because if your 3-pointer shot is hitting and the other one isn't, then it's just gonna be a blowout. And they don't change the game plan. They just gonna keep shooting threes. So they've missed every one of them. They just gonna keep shooting them, and that's how they play, man. I thought Luka I thought Luka looked like trash on the big stage, man. He did average a lot of points. He did do that. But man, the crying to the refs, the not running back on defense, the it's just everything that he did, man. He looked really bad, man. And if that's the future edit for of the NBA is him, it's not in good hands because bro he has a lot to learn. I don't know. He may figure it out one day, but I just didn't. Him going through the West, just watching the games, it was weak. The games between them and Minnesota was weak. I don't know, bro. A lot of people not gonna agree with me, but I just thought the games, man, all the threes that's being shot and just throwing up crap shots, man, and nobody has a really good, decent offensive game plan. Just drive and kick, drive and kick, drive and kick, drive and kick, drive and kick. I don't know, man. I hope some good coaching. I mean, J Kidd is a good coach, man, but I wish to see some better play. What's going on, man? I don't know, man. Some more cuts, something, man. The stuff it looks trash. Driving, kick, shooting threes, and that's all Dallas did. And I just thought that, they go versus Boston, and Boston does the same thing. They just shoot a whole bunch of threes. So I don't know. I mean, this is the way the sport is headed, and the way it's going, it's only going to get worse. So I mean, I don't know, man. I just hope a team. Because if everybody wants to be Golden State, but if you remember watching those Golden State teams, man, they got a lot of layups. They did a lot of back cuts. They ran a full offense. It wasn't just drive and kick to the three. And I don't know, man. What they're doing now is just ugly to watch. And the ratings are suffering. But you can't tell these kids anything. They are, and everybody think it's all so great, but the ratings are going down and down and down. So something is not clicking with people, man. I know analytics is the way everybody want to go nowadays, but it doesn't seem to be driving the fans to the game. But we'll see what happens. I just thought it was like a lackluster season,
it really
man.
was.
That's all my complaints.
And then being that the season was so lackluster, we get a little controversy coming at the end of the season as JJ Redick becomes the Lakers head coach, and LeBron makes a statement saying that he had nothing to do with it.
Oh, whatever, dog. You done had a podcast with this dude all season. I don't care what nobody say. The timing of the podcast was trash. And everybody, a lot of people don't like it. You know what I'm saying? That even Stephen A has been saying it for a while, that it was ridiculous that he did that to Darvin Ham. Gonna start a podcast with the next coach in there talking X and O's with him, disrespecting Darvin Ham, disrespecting his intelligence.
Yep.
Then pushes him out. Then gonna say I ain't got nothing to do with it. These are the reasons why people do not like LeBron. I know he tries his best to mold his PR and his image in the
best light.
In the best light he can. But dude, these are the reasons why people get so upset with LeBron, man. And everybody, got the excuse, oh, the Lakers were always firing coaches. But the problem is, bro, that everywhere LeBron has went, this is what he's been about.
Yep.
He tried to get rid of Spoelstra in Miami. In Cleveland, coaches, they couldn't keep a coach. Coach, every other week they gone. So I don't know, man. You could try to blame the Lakers front office, but it's just, to me, this is how LeBron's been his whole career. Blame the coach. Don't want to listen to the coach because he's smarter than the coach. And even JJ Redick, he think he's smarter than everybody. Because, man, I seen one clip. He was talking to Stephen A. and the one dude on First Take, and he was like, see, these are the reasons why I know you guys have never played a professional game in the world ever in your life. Like, a lot of people like that. But I'm like, bro, I don't like these people, man, who think that because they played the sport, that they can talk more about people who have analyzed the sport, watched the sport,
Right.
and been a person of a fan of the sport for 30, 40, 50 years. Both of those dudes, twice the age of JJ Redick. But he's going to tell them they don't know anything because they didn't play the game. I don't agree with that. You don't have to.
Just because you played the game don't mean you know the game that well.
We couldn't talk about the president. No one's been the president, but we all talk about the moves and the decisions that he make.
Right.
No, I mean, there's so many things that doctors. So we can't talk NBA because we wasn't in the NBA, but anything else in the world, we could talk about the police. We could talk about all these people and talk about how they're doing a bad job, but we can't talk. Nobody can analyze the NBA because people like JJ Redick and LeBron know more than him. Like, it's annoying, dude. You two, JJ has never run anything on the professional level. So to try to say he's the best and he knows everything, the way he goes off and tries to talk is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. LeBron definitely has a great IQ. JJ Redick has one also. But I think the arrogance of them is just what turns people off. They're arrogant. And they're even on their show, on their little podcast, it's just pure arrogance of them just sitting there talking about how great each other is. I mean, dude, I respect that you cats made it to the league, man, because it's hard. And I didn't make it. I didn't even make my high school team. I was trash of a person. I ain't gonna say I was trash basketball wise. I was just a trash person. I couldn't keep myself out of trouble. But these cats was able to do the things that they needed to make it. So we respect that. But to try to say that someone that didn't play doesn't know the game and doesn't know X and O's is bull to me. There's a lot of coaches who didn't play who were great. And they know the game ins and out. So I don't know. I mean, definitely there's things that they may not know because they wasn't a professional. And you can help them to learn those things. But to sit there and act like you're better or you know more because you're professional
let me ask
doesn't
you
mean
this
that.
one question. Has JJ won any professional championships?
He ain't won nothing. And he's never been a coach and he's never led men. So I don't know why they think the only thing that
why does he think that he knows more about basketball than anybody who's analyzed the game?
Because he knows X and O's. That's how they are. You know, he knows he's an X and O guy, so he knows more than everybody. I don't know, man. It's annoying to me. I don't think he deserved a job. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that they should have gave it to somebody with a little bit more experience. But you know, when you have LeBron, who wants to be the player coach, he just wants somebody who's a puppet to me.
Yep.
And he's just creating a puppet, and JJ's the puppet. I just don't understand how the team is going to take this when they know that these cats just had a podcast. So you have to feel like, well, LeBron just got this dude hired. Mm-hmm. This LeBron coach. You know, I just don't know how that's going to work out for the other players on the team.
How many coaches have LeBron listened to in order to win?
I mean, he's won. I mean, he didn't like Spoelstra, but they put his game plan in when he wanted to do the spread offense. In fact, he's taken that offense in every place he's went since then. The spread, taking the four and putting them in the corner, for he can drive to the basket and have free reign. So I can say he did listen to coaches. I mean, he's won with certain coaches, but at the end of the day, it seems like he feels as though he knows more than the coaches that's behind the plays. He thinks he really knows more than all of them. And I hear people talking about if LeBron had a system. I don't know if his system ever would have worked for him because he's so arrogant that he thinks he knows more than anybody.
Let me tell you what LeBron's system is. He's played for 9 coaches, with 7 being fired during his career, his 21-year career. They're saying that the Lakers fired Darvin Ham, making him the 7th head coach to be fired out of the 9 coaches that LeBron has had in his 21-year career.
I mean, that's a coach being
out of
fired
9.
every 2.5 years. You find a coach, and they all calling you the GOAT. You the greatest player ever
to get coaches fired.
But all the coaches that you play for can't keep their job. That's why those things can't go in the same sentence. And then they always like, well, Jordan had Phil Jackson. Well, Phil Jackson was a coach in the CBA and an assistant. Before he came to Mike, he was not a championship coach before then. They became champions together. And then they built on that. As they built together. LeBron can't build with no one. He knows more than every coach.
Not to mention,
when the coach comes, he knows more than him. He's going to get him fired.
Yes, of course. 7 coaches out of 9 coaches have been fired under LeBron. Let's not forget that 118 players
have been traded under LeBron's watch.
LeBron.
Was he? I mean, he's always, trying to.
If the player ain't up
and they say that he makes players better, but he's had to trade 118 different players.
And that's making them better?
Nah, he don't make people better, man. He just gets better players in there that he think gonna fit with his system. Unfortunately,
right?
That's how that works.
Exactly.
But I don't know, man. I think there's gonna be a disaster with this head coach with the Lakers, man. I don't expect them to make the playoffs. If they do,
JJ
I'll be surprised.
Is set to make $8 million a season for the next 4 seasons.
There's other coaches that could have got that job, man. There's got to be a bigger coaching pool, man. I don't understand why they act like the coaching pool is so small. Mark Jackson still hasn't got a chance again. He was a hell of a coach, man. But I know that LeBron doesn't want to listen to a coach like that because he's going to try to push LeBron to do that, and LeBron don't want to listen to that.
LeBron does not want to listen to any coach. LeBron is not coachable. He's not a coachable person.
He's the coach.
He is the coach.
Right. He wants to be the coach.
He is the GM.
Well, now he has a puppet. Because is JJ Redick going to stand up to LeBron and tell him no?
Absolutely
is JJ Redick going to say, hey, LeBron, get your butt at the end of the bench. You ain't running back on defense. No, he's not going to do that. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about, man. It's like, whatever, man. But you got to have somebody on the team that's holding people accountable. Is JJ Redick going to hold them accountable? Hell no. He's not going to hold any of those players accountable. I can't see him even talking to Anthony Davis, telling him to sit down. You're not doing anything right. I can't see him doing that. He's his contemporary. They're about the same age. He's younger than LeBron. So I just don't see him listening to this dude. You got to have a coach in there that's 60, 70 years old that can come in there and tell them, sit down, young buck. But you got a dude that's young whippersnapper. You got a dude that's younger than him. He is not going to be able to control this locker room. He is not going to be able to control the players. He is not going to be able to tell LeBron to sit down or come out of the game. He going to be LeBron. I'm cool. I'm sitting in, and he going okay, LeBron. Sorry, buddy. I can't see JJ Redick like, nah, come sit your ass down. He's not going to do that. If LeBron is playing bad, you think JJ Redick is going to be able to pull LeBron to the side and say, dog, you looking like shit. Come sit at the end of the bench. No, he's not going to do that. That's his homie. That's his boy. And he's going to say, whatever you want to do, LeBron, it's fine. And they're going to lose every game.
Every game.
I just don't see him being. If same thing, they'll be fighting for the 8th, 9th, 10th position as they've been for the last 3 years. Even when they made it to the Western Conference Final that one year, they was like the 7th, 8th seed. And they wasn't even supposed to make that run. They just happened to made a good run and made it to the conference finals to get swept. But it's just like I said, man. The team has not gotten better. If they make moves this season and bringing in other players to try to make it better, that may help. But I just think that the leadership situation is in a bad situation. And I guess LeBron is going to be the leader because I just cannot see JJ taking the helms and running that place.
I'm not really sure about that because LeBron is expected to opt out of the Lakers contract and enter the free agency market.
He's coming back. Year. He's not coming. He's coming back.
You think he's going to come back for another
and
year?
they finna draft Bronny. He wants to be a Laker great. You know what I'm saying? That's the way he is. He feel like he's a Heat great. He's a Cleveland great. Now he want to take Kobe's spot and be a Laker great. You know, that's type of dude he is.
And he also wants to play with his son.
Right. So they made it to I'm already getting my mind ready for the LA to draft Bronny. Even though dude is like a 50 of prospect, they probably gonna draft him with their. I think they said they had a 50 of pick or something like that. They're gonna draft him probably in the first round. You know, they're gonna do whatever they got to do to keep LeBron in LA, and they're just gonna keep doing that. They're gonna let them. He has 2 years left. I just think about how they did Kobe his last years, and they did not give Kobe the same love that they're giving LeBron. Kobe had a trash team. They were losing. They were trying to figure out how to start over, but they didn't give Kobe all these great players like they doing. I mean, I think they had that one run when they got Nash and Dwight Howard, but they were both washed up. You know, they didn't went and got great players for LeBron, and they've done everything for this dude. Fired 57 coaches. So I don't know, man. They didn't even give Kobe that love to me. But we'll see, man, what the season holds. The off season should be crazy. We already had Giddey traded for Caruso from Chicago. They gave them Giddey and a first round pick. So that's pretty crazy. I think that does help OKC. You know, it spreads the floor a little more because Giddey was having issues with shooting. I don't know what it does for Chicago because they already had someone who pretty much had the ball in their hands all the time. And dude was playing well. Your boy with the big afro, Kobe White. He was playing well this year, man. He was. I know he's. If he didn't win Most Improved, he was in the running for it because dude had a great year. Don't know what we're gonna do when Lonzo comes back because dude been playing so well. I don't know what you really do with that situation. Now they brought Giddey in. Maybe Giddey can play the forward. I don't know what they really doing on that. They still got DeRozan and Levine. Chicago doesn't know what they're doing. That's all I can say about that. I don't know what they're trying to do, but maybe Levine is going to be traded this year. Is what I'm starting to think. Because he's just been hurt. That's all he does is be hurt, man. So I probably would get rid of him. But that's sports for the week, man. Do we have anything else today?
No, that's it for the day. It's all of our stories we decided to cover. But we also cannot forget that today's episode is sponsored by Mama Soul's Fish and Chicken. Going to get you a plate down on 19th Avenue and Greenway. Or you can get you a plate over on their East Main Street and Mesa location.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, they do open at 12 o'clock noon today. So go in there and grab you a plate.
For sure, man. Support, man. Help it out. And if you are following, make sure to subscribe, to like, and to share, and to just support, man. Habari, man. We appreciate everybody. We're almost at 1,000 followers on YouTube, subscribers on YouTube. Which, you know what I'm saying, it's slow, man, but it's worth it to watch it build.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we're watching that momentum grow.
Right. It's not going to be out in the front where a whole bunch of people are just jumping on and liking. It's going to be slow, man. And we appreciate everybody who takes the time to just like something and support something. So we did release a new video this week. We had the Bridget Pettis Ring of Honor video release. So go check that out. It's a nice video put together by Flo, and it was really good. We was really happy to be invited and come out. We wish we'd been able to go to the game, but we weren't able to. But you know, we'll get it together, man. We keep on building and keep on trying to make Habari Entertainment something that's big in the city and the nation. Mm-hmm. You know. But thanks everybody for watching and tuning in, man. We appreciate you. Thanks, Aisha, Jimmy, and next week, you know, we got.
Next week we have Demetrius. Demetrius is a relationship expert.
Okay.
So if you need some help,
Mm-hmm.
if you need some advice,
Jimmy,
make sure you tune in.
he needs some relationship advice.
Jimmy could always use a little help.
Mm-hmm. Dumping them after one date. One thing go wrong. He dumping them all.
No, I think the last one dumped him.
Oh.
That was the first. That was the first. I didn't know what to do with myself.
You still don't. You still sitting in your room every Friday
She got
night.
you. Because old girl called her talking about it.
Old girl called him. The one that got him the PlayStation.
That's what you get, bro. We told you not to do that shit.
I shouldn't even mention her in my story. I shouldn't have said nothing on her story. I shouldn't have put her at, because she went on her Instagram and DM'd. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, man. That's why I tell you, man. You don't take presents from people, man.
Shit.
You can't take gifts from women because they expect
and then break up
the
with
world. Them. They expect the world. So you stuck with them for a little while after they do some things like that, especially spending $500. That's a lot of money, man.
For a teenager.
Right. Exactly. That's a lot of days at in and out working.
Yeah, she got that money from the Social Security.
It don't matter. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money for a 19-year-old.
Right. Oh, should have got me on that note.
She know that now. She knows
I tried to tell her then. I was like, "You sure about this?" Like, absolutely. All right.
Yeah, man.
I ain't shit. No.
You messed up there. But thank you everyone for watching, man. We really appreciate y'all, and we're gonna be back next week with more Habari Live.
Holla holla.
Peace out.